Hi, welcome back. I'm Lee Sharon, and this is Old Tavern Farm. Well, today it's about the 800th day of gray and snow. But the happy part is a happy birthday happened this week. Our son's birthday happened this week, and he and his lovely girlfriend are coming to stay the weekend with us. So I wanted to make a nice little birthday cake for him. Now, I am not a cake decorator. I'm barely a cake maker. It's not my specialty. But I can kind of inch along a little bit. I know all you great cake makers out there and cake makers who can make purses and shoes and, you know, an air traffic control tower, you know, skyscraper, pride of lions, out of cake. Yeah, I'm bowing down. Seriously. It's not really my thing, but I can hold my own. One of my secrets is this, Joy of Cooking. This is a cookbook that my mother gave me, I think, in the late 70s, and it was printed mid-century sometime. And so it's super fun to get recipes out of, because they don't care about calories. They just want it to taste good, and they want it to be economical. So still coming out of the war years here. But this is one of my favorite things to make. It's just a straight up vanilla pound cake. And I have flavored it with cinnamon and frosted it with my cinnamon bun frosting, my cream cheese cinnamon bun frosting, which I will stick in one of these corners. You'd think I would know by now. I still don't. It's up there somewhere. Anyway, and I'll put notes in the description box too about different things that I did. I'm going to rewrite this recipe too, because it's a mid-century recipe and they're not always easy to understand or read. Anyway, I wanted you guys to see how this very easy pound cake, which in the old days just meant a pound of eggs, a pound of sugar, a pound of butter, and a pound of flour. That was it. That's just how they made things back in bygone days. And sometimes it's comforting to go back to these bygone days and just enjoy the food and enjoy the recipe and you know, have a taste of the past. So let me take you through how to make the Joy of Cooking pound cake. This copy of Joy of Cooking that I've been using for years and years was printed in 1964. It's full of wonderful vintage recipes, interesting pictures, diagrams, all kinds of party inspiration. The recipe that I use the most is on page 626. And as you can see from all the splotchy batter and pencil notes and general scuffed appearance, I turn to this page quite frequently. But these recipes were made in a different way than people are used to today. They're laid out more in a literature form and less like the recipes that we recognize today. Okay, so once we've made our batter, I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl down. Get that ready. Now I'm using a cake tin from a cake supply store. This is what we used in culinary school and what we use in regular baking in the industry. And it is an 8-inch cake tin. You can see it's got thicker sides. The little skinny ones, you can use those too, but they're just a little, it's just not what I'm used to using. These are really much simpler because all you have to do is cut the cake in half and it's got nice straight sides, and you'll see that later. The way you measure a cake tin, just really quick, is you just take a measuring device of some kind. This is an 8-inch cake tin. So you just measure from one side of the cake tin to the other side of the cake tin, and that's your marker right there at 8 inches. We're just going to spray it with some non-stick spray, and we are going to remember our old friend parchment paper. Yeah, we love our parchment paper. It's good for everything. So you're just going to take, I'll show you, just enough to cover the pan. Aside for a minute. You're just going to fold it in half. Make yourself a little crease. Then quarter it. Crease. And then you're just going to fold it on the point. Like when we used to make snowflakes when we were in kindergarten or whatever they, well, I used to make them when I was in kindergarten. So. Anyway, then we're going to put the point in the middle of the approximate middle of the pan. There's no need to be like super exact about finding your quadrant or your middle point. We're just trying to cover the bottom of the pan, and it can be a little smaller or a little bigger. It doesn't matter. Just trying to get the cake out of the tin easily once you finish baking it. So then we're just going to go to the edge of our pan, and we're going to make a little snip. So you can see I just made a little snip right there. And then I'm just going to kind of, you can cut straight across. I like to do a little bit of a curve just to, you can toss the rest of that or I used to start fires with or whatever. Flip the pan, undo your, and then you have basically a cake circle. These are sold commercially, already cut out for you, so if you're going to make a lot of cakes, it's probably better to just buy them already cut. But I don't make cakes as often as like maybe a professional cake maker would, or caterer. But either way, that's what you've got, and that will get your cake out of the tin, no problems, guaranteed, 100% every time. None of this business where it sticks in the middle or whatever. So, all right, this recipe makes 2 cakes. So I'm just going to divide my batter in half, and I'm just going to roughly estimate. Okay, that's plenty. You're only wanting to go about halfway up the side of the tin. And I like to have on hand at least one. The other ones are at work at the moment. This is called an offset spatula. I don't know if you can see. It has like a little jump down so that you can hold it like this and get like a nice flat surface, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Try to get as much batter, waste not, want not. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my offset spatula and I kind of hold it like this. Just makes it you have more control. And then I'm just going to turn and push and turn and push and turn and push and turn and push. And then that way I get a nice flat top, and I don't have to cut away as much when I go to put the frosting on it. If you heard that crash, it was just snow sliding off the house. We get that around here. All right, so we're gonna bake our cakes at 350 for about 50 minutes, or until a toothpick or knife is inserted and it comes out clean. You can also push on your cake top, and if it's firm to the touch, it's ready to go. But about 50 minutes is what you want to do, and I will drop the recipe in the description box, and I will also convert it to a recipe that most of us recognize in terms of a modern recipe versus a mid-century recipe. Okay, let's go to the oven.